Hi everyone, Namaste. How are you doing? Everyone is okay? I welcome you all to this session that we are going to do. I hope all of you can see me and hear me. Can you just tell me if everything is fine? Let me check the system as well. Hi, good evening, hi, hello. I hope everything is fine at your end. I hope you are able to see me. Just check the audio video, please. Everything is good? Everything is good? Is the audio okay? Is the audio okay? This echo will settle down, don't worry. Is the audio okay now? Just check. Yes, okay. Thank you, Shishir. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you. Okay. Can you check? For some people it's echoing, but for others, are you okay? Everybody's good? Everybody's good? I'm just trying to check the audio for all of you. Yes, okay. Shishir is okay. So I think the echo will be the problem at your local thing because some of you are able to hear properly. Okay, fine. So namaste, welcome. Let me introduce myself first. I am Dr. Saurabh Jindal. I am a dermatologist. I am a faculty at DBMCI and I am here to plan for you the FMGE program. Okay. At the end of this session, I'll introduce you how we are going to be able to help you crack this FMGE exam in December. Obviously, understand that many of you find a lot of apprehension. Many of you find apprehension in attempting an FMGE exam. So I'm here to solve that FMGE exam issue. Okay, I'm here to solve the FMGE exam issue. One second, let me just check the. One second, bache. Let me check the settings, please. Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Just check, please. Now I've done some setting change. Is that okay now? Okay, right. So I think we are good now. So now let me just tell you exactly what we are going to do in this session. Now, a lot of FMG students, we teach a lot of FMG students also. A lot of, yes, now my voice is clear. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, a lot of FMG students have what we call as self-doubt. Now, the problem is when you have doubt, you know why the doubt comes? The doubt comes because possibly you have not prepared very well. You're possibly not very prepared very well in the past and you feel, oh, this is very tough. How will be able to get that score that helps us pass this exam? So today we are going to be able to help you with the first thing, which is called as mindset. I'm going to plan in two ways. We have planning in two ways. One planning is we are going to do a planning from the mind perspective, which I feel is very important, because I feel most of you get defeated not from the content and from the notes. Most of us get defeated because our mind says negative things. Is it not? Tell me if that is not true. For example, when I was preparing for my entrance exam in NEET PG, my half of my brain was saying I can do it, but half of my brain was always pulling me back. It was always saying maybe it is not possible. What if I don't succeed? What if my fellow colleagues do well and I don't do well? Is that not what we think? Tell me. Is that not what we think? Let's chat. It's something that is so common. So today, first, we'll talk about the mindset part. And I will tell you what you should be doing from now till December exam from the mindset perspective. Once we'll get hold of the mindset perspective, then I'll talk to you about the actual planning and what plans we have for you so that you can crack your exam very well. Okay, so that is what we want to do. The first thing I really want you to really focus on is this. How many of you can really tell yourself that I completely believe in myself? Okay, I don't think many of us do that. You know, we have brand ambassadors of many cosmetic products. Coke has a brand ambassador. What is a brand ambassador? Brand ambassador promotes a product. You know what? You are your own brand ambassador. आप आपके खुद के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर हो. आप अपने खुद को प्रमोट करना सीखो. मतलब what we really want to work on first is forget your past, because past is often not very good for many of us. Ki we have not studied very well, let's assume we have not got a good rank in the past, we have struggled, we have not got a seat properly, so FMG medical colleges had to be, you had to go to that, so you somehow feel that maybe your preparation is not up to the mark. So first thing I want you to really work on, first thing I want to really work on is belief. From now till December, every day when you get up in the morning, you get up with this belief that this, I can do it. Even though you don't have any evidence about it, you don't have any evidence, you almost feel that you are fooling yourself, but that's not true. Once you start believing in yourself, belief by itself is half the battle. I spoke to a student very recently. I asked him, what is your biggest challenge? Is the biggest challenge the notes that DBMCI gives you? He says, no, sir, notes are very good. My problem is I don't believe in myself. And I asked him why. He said, sir, because my first year was not good, my second year was not good. I was not a very honest, sincere student. I said, okay, let's leave that baggage behind. And what you have to do first is trust yourself. Guess what? Only if you trust yourself, other people will trust you. So ये पहली चीज आपको करनी है. Trust in yourself, even though you do not have any evidence for that trust and belief is the first thing. इसको हम बोलते हैं belief training. Belief training मतलब एक भी दिन आपने अपने आप को डाउट नहीं करना है. मतलब आप पढ़ाई करना सीख रहे हो, पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, आप सुबह से आपने यू स्टार्टेड रीडिंग. In the afternoon you say, अरे यार I'm not remembering anything, oh my memory is not good, oh maybe I'll not be able to crack the exam. So the first doubt comes in when you have poor memory. You know why most of us have poor memory? Because we have poor concentration. When we are studying, half the time we are thinking of something else. Half the time we are not even focusing on the notes, we are focusing on our mind is going for a walk. My mind is wavering. So the first thing I want all of you to work on, which will give you great belief, is focus and concentration. और वो कैसे करना है वो भी समझाऊंगा. One of the best ways to do focus and concentration training is to stop using social media. Social media in my books is one of the biggest distractors. Your mind is constantly wavering because you are on Instagram reels and you are on YouTube reels. So the first thing please I want you to do is work on deleting your social media apps. That is going to then give you less distraction, and then it becomes like that horse. Have you seen that horse? That horse on a chariot has these blinkers on the sides, so it can only see the front. उसको ना यहाँ दिखता ना वहां दिखता, उसको सिर्फ सीधा दिखता है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसको एक ही डायरेक्शन दिख रही है तो एक ही डायरेक्शन में जाएगा. तो अपनी एनर्जी वेस्ट नहीं करता टू गो लेफ्ट एंड डू राइट. You want to do the same thing for the next, what we have, 3 months. In that time I want you to do this, the horse mentality, which horse means you are not going to do this, not going to do that, you're just going to go straight. So that is what is called the belief mentality, and I feel all of us need that so much. Tell me if this is making sense for you. Tell me if you're able to understand what you're saying. Let's talk. I want this to be interactive. I want this session to really be something I connect to your heart. Because what happens most times, most faculties, and rightly so, will be really in the class trying to finish the content. I'm very happy that is done, but there's also one more aspect, which is the mental aspect, which I'm talking to you possibly for someone who's doing this for the first time. We at DBMCI really believe that we are here to give you a very holistic preparation, not really only giving you MCQs, not really giving you only notes to do, but something that really helps you really understand how your mind gives you success. Problem is, many of the success tales become failures because our mind is very distracted. Yes or no? We are thinking of so many things. We are thinking of our family, we're thinking of relationship, we are thinking of the past, we're thinking of the future. We are just not in the present moment. We are always jumping, right? And बच्चे देखो कितना आप, यश, thank you so much for bringing that out. Yes, बच्चे, self doubt is the biggest stone in your path to success. I am here to tell you content is not the problem. Notes will never be the problem. Notes आपके अच्छे बन रहे हैं. प्रॉब्लम इज कि आपके आगे जो पत्थर है ना, जिसके आगे आप नहीं क्रॉस कर पा रहे, आपको लगता है कि इस रास्ते पे आप पूरा नहीं चल पाओगे, आपको लगता है ये रास्ता आपके लायक नहीं है, आप इसके लायक नहीं हो, रादर आपको लगता है कि यार उसने तो कर लिया, उसने तो कर लिया, आई हैव ओनली नॉट बीन एबल टू डू इट, because you somehow feel you are inferior. Yes or no? So बच्चे really please listen and really put this by heart. आज से एग्जाम तक आपने अपने आप को 1% भी डाउट नहीं करना. ये प्रॉमिस आई वांट फ्रॉम यू एंड आई वांट दिस टू बी द कॉर्नर स्टोर ऑफ योर प्लानिंग. सो यू वुड हैव थॉट दैट अगर प्लानिंग की बात कर रहे हैं एफएमजी की, व्हाट विल आई टॉक अबाउट, यू वुड हैव थॉट आई वुड हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट पोर्शन. I would have thought about how many hours you should be studying, how much sleep should you do. I know those are important questions, but what is the first question to address is your mind your friend or is your mind your enemy? I feel the biggest enemy all of us have is inside our own head. हमें दूसरा क्या मारेगा? हमारा अपना दिमाग ही हमें मार रहा है. हमारे अंदर भी एक दुनिया है ना, आपको अपने से जीतना है, आपको दूसरे से नहीं जीतना. The only war you're having here is with yourself, and yourself what your mind is saying, no बच्चे तू नहीं कर सकता, नहीं कर सकता, बट दिमाग बोलता है नहीं, आपका दिल बोलता है हाँ. Keep your heart above your head. These are very important lines बच्चे, and if you really even note it down, it will really help you throughout the entire preparation. Keep your heart above your head. Your head will, you know what, your head will say okay, the fact is that मैंने पीछे अपने लाइफ में अच्छा नहीं किया, that's a fact. Your दिल says कोई बात नहीं, I still believe in myself. Your heart is your success story. Your brain, you should not be thinking about it. Your memory centers, your focus, your concentration, everything will go down if you don't have belief. Yes बच्चे, are you understand? आपको पता है मोस्ट, मुझे भी क्या लगता था कि मैं कितना भी पढ़ लूं आई विल फॉरगेट इट. मुझे विश्वास था कि आई विल फॉरगेट इट. आई यूज्ड टू बिलीव दैट आई विल फॉरगेट इट, एंड व्हाट यूज्ड टू हैपन, आई यूज्ड टू फॉरगेट इट. देन माय बिलीफ यूज्ड टू बिकम स्ट्रॉन्गर. व्हाट नाउ आई से टू माई सेल्फ, इफ आई रीड आई विल नॉट फॉरगेट इट, is what I now tell myself. So then what happens, your mind is somehow, it's like a pet. Okay, if you allow it to roar, it will bite you. Make it a pet, जिसको ना अपना सहलाना है यूं, oh puppy puppy puppy, so your brain kind of just settles. So this is what I call as belief training, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. ठीक है? This is so important. A weak mind can get in the way of a strong heart. Even though all of us have big इच्छा ना, हमें क्या इच्छा है, हमें एग्जाम क्रैक करना है. You have the will, you want to do it, you have the desire, but what pulls you back is your head. Yes or no? Is that not such a true sentence? We have a weak mind, so should you not really be supporting your heart when it desires for big things in life? All of us have such wonderful dreams, but do you have such wonderful minds and such strong minds to allow the dreams to fly? हम क्या करते हैं, ड्रीम को दबा देते हैं और हम बोलते हैं यार हम उड़ नहीं पा रहे. अरे आपने ही अपने पंखे काट रखे हैं, आपने you have started to crush your own wings, you are not allowing yourself to fly. And I really wish all of you, and guess what, if you believe you can fly, you will flap your wings as if there is no tomorrow, and then things start to change. So please listen carefully. The only way to have a great mind and a strong mind is to first get up with the morning and start telling yourself it can be done. It can be done and I can do it. Okay, very important for you to stand at the gate. यहाँ पे ना दिमाग में एक गेट होता है. Okay, understand this? दिमाग में एक गेट होता है. Okay, there is a bit of a gate on your head. Okay, and you know negative thoughts always keep on coming. Why don't you stand at the gate and say negative thoughts not inside, positive thoughts come inside? This is one of the basic tenets of success. Most successful people will have negative thoughts, but they don't allow it to enter, they will allow it to exit. For the next 3 months, you have to stand at the gate of your mind, allowing only nice things to come in. What are nice things? Nice things means when people say you can do it, you allow that to enter. When people say, oh, it's too short a time, you can't do it, that you don't want it to enter. So all of us have a responsibility of what we think and what we don't think. So that's a very important stuff. This is what I really want to talk about in your planning, and this is, I feel, one of the best ways you can really be successful in your FMG exam. For the next 3-4 months, you have to surround yourself with an environment which supports your dreams. Means what? See, if you are, I'll give you an example. Let's say there are two friends. One is very keen to do very well and he thinks that they can do it. The second person keeps on telling him, "Arey, it's difficult, arey, it's difficult, arey, it's difficult." You know what happens to the first person? He loses motivation because his environment is negative and his negative environment is influencing him to become negative as well. So the first thing I want all of you to do is always be very careful of the company that you keep in the next 3 months. If your mom, if your dad, if your sister, if your brother, if your boyfriend, if anyone around you is throwing in a negative environment, be ruthless and delete that person for the next 3 months. Only surround yourself and in the environment, and guess what? This sentence, you will become the environment you are in. I'm saying this sentence again. You will become the environment you are in. You will become the environment you are in. Everybody got this clearly? You will become the environment you are in. And that's so vital. Choose your environment wisely. Choose your environment wisely. I told you the importance of absolutely not having distraction. So see, that's what I'm saying. No distraction for the next 3 months. Delete social media for the next 3 to 4 months. Surround yourself with people who support your ideology that it can be done. Tell yourself every day that it can be done. This is a 4-point program. I want you to absorb all the 4 points, and trust me, it creates wonders. And you know what it does? It helps you feel happy that I will be doing it, because there's no self-doubt. I remember what Mahendra Singh Dhoni said. He was asked, hey, why don't you feel any stress? Why do you not feel any stress when there are 2 balls to go and 10 runs to score? How can you make a 6 and a 4 at that time? Do you not feel anxious and scared? You know what he said, and that was so beautiful. He said that if I focus on losing and winning, I'll surely lose, because then I will have stress and anxiety. The moment I start thinking of only the next ball, I'm more likely to hit it out of the park. Which means that for you also, that's important. Don't think what's going to happen in December. Think what's going to happen tomorrow. Face the next ball. And you know what? Again, let's carry that analogy ahead. Some balls will be Yorkers, and that day you cannot hit a 6. Some balls are going to be full tosses. You can hit it for a 6. Meaning, some days are going to be so good in your preparation. You will be concentrating very well. You'll study for 10 hours. Everything is nice. Some days are going to be bad. Some days are Yorkers. So that day, don't get disappointed. Just think that it is my destiny that today I have had a tough ball. What you should do? At least not get out. Meaning, just block that ball. Meaning, even if it's possible that day to study for 1 or 2 hours, do that. Remember, 1 hour is as important as 10 hours. All days will not be 10 hours. And guess what? You do not need to study for 10 hours every day. You have to study something every day. And that is your goal, because nobody can study 10 hours every day. Every day is going to be different. You just have to get up in the morning with belief and then do the best that you can. I have an excellent saying that I really feel you should know about. Okay. If you can run, run. If you cannot run, walk. But if you can't walk, at least crawl. But whatever you do, at least you better be moving. Meaning, whatever you have to do in a day, you have to keep on doing something, some preparation, some studies, everything. Okay. Many of you, okay, are very near the 150 mark. Somehow you are not able to cross the line. What really helps you at the end? Let me tell you that. First, it's very important for you to be very concise and precise in your notes and preparation. Okay. What I wanted you to listen to this very carefully. For those students, okay, for those students who are already like internship, post internship, and all those kind of people who have already had some kind of exposure to subjects, 19 subjects. I want you to understand this. What is very important for you is a question bank and giving some tests. Don't skip test giving and don't skip question banks. We have a actual program, and I'll put that at the end, where we give you a lot of question banks and a lot of test series. Now once you do that, then it helps you cross that last part, 135, 140, 145 kind of scores. It helps you push them beyond, because you are not, the problem is not the notes possibly, the problem is you are not practicing. When Mahendra Singh Dhoni actually said that there's no point in only doing a net practice, you have to play on the ground also. Same way for you, it's not enough to just keep on reading notes and notes and notes. What you have to really do is do tests, do question bank, and many of these questions will be repeated. The question bank that we have on eGurukul is so much formulated for your FMG. It's great that it should be nice for you to get that through, so that you can at least cross that line and get through. For those students who have actually just maybe in the first prop and the second prop, we have a dedicated curriculum for them also. So we have different curated curriculums for different stages of your career. So trust us with your trust, okay, and then we'll not really disappoint you in that space. So what I want all of you to understand is content is as important as question banks. Content is as important as test series. Do not skip tests. We will know obviously where we are lacking, and whatever topics you feel that this topic I'm consistently making a mistake, go and revise that so much better. And once you do that, you will find that, and guess what, a lot of students, I interviewed one student in FMG very recently. I think he had a score of 160, and I asked him, how long did you study? You know what he said? He said that he was 4 months back, and he knew he had only 4 months to study. So what he just did, he just focused on question bank and test series, and only preparing those questions which are only there in the test series. He told me, okay, he told me that I do not have the time to go through the notes, because he's reading for the first time, and his mother had met with some accident. He was delayed because of that. So only thing he did is test series. Okay, now question bank, see what we should be doing, listen to this. Now question bank has been actually selected so that you can do that as a high yield topic. So as many questions that you can do, the more practice you will get. Do not ever skip question. In fact, I've had so many students who are very thorough in their notes, but guess what, because they don't practice question bank, they get into big trouble. So I think what I want you to know is this is very important for you to see. Okay, now this again something I want you to really understand. Okay, there are so many things which are going to be in your control. Okay, but that's the white circle, but there's a blue circle. The blue circle are the things which are not in your control. So this blue circle is not in your control. What is not in your control? What is not in your control is the result of your efforts. If what happens in December, we don't know. But what is completely in your control are your thoughts, are your efforts, are the feelings that I can do it. At least study as much as you can. So there's always going to be, you always have to be very careful about it. Tell if you have some issue going on in your head, what you should think, is it in my control? Not in my control. If it's in your control, give 100% effort into that space. But what is not in your control, leave it to destiny, leave it to God. And we are not here to discuss on what is not in my hand. What is not in my hand is definitely what happens in the exam. Most of us get so stressed about the result that we stop making efforts because it's too stressful for us to do that. So I hope you get what I'm trying to get at. Now, what I was trying to tell you is this is basically something that we have created for you for those students who really want to get into the test series and the question banks. We have the basic plus plan, which is really a 12-month validity. But what I want you to see is basically this is going to have almost everything that we need. It's a test series and a question bank attempt, as I do so important. There's so many tests here, you can see this. Okay, and there's to the point explanation, everything is there. And even if you just do this, it's going to be enough because there's an explanation there. It almost prepares you completely for the exam by itself. So if you don't have too much time and if you've all done some kind of theory from some notes, from some app, from some other resource, we are okay. You don't need to do the whole notes again, but at least test yourself. Is that okay or is that not really okay? So it's obviously a great plan for those students who are really now post intern and kind of who have done some kind of course from somewhere else. This is the plan that I would recommend for you to get into, right? It's a very important plan, and I hope you understand what we're trying to get at here. Now, so this basically is a plan. This is, as we have said, this is the FMG ready test. It's a test series specifically curated for FMG exam. It's called the basic plus plan, and you can kind of note it down. If you want to really get into this, this is going to be a short thing that you can actually buy and get your rank through that. Those people who are really struggling near the 150 score but not able to cross it, and this is really going to be a nice thing for you to get at. Now, for those students who are in the first and the second prof, we really need you to get into this. Is really suited for the first and the second prof students. It's going to be a validity of about 2 years. This is going to have all your first and second prof subjects. You can see this: anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, pathology, pharmacology, and microbiology. Okay, it's going to be in English and Hindi, both English lectures. It's going to be having a test series and obviously a question bank. It's going to have revision videos, test and discussion with all our topmost faculties. So this is something that really helps you if you're the first or second year prof students, and we have a specially made plan, and we will obviously ensure that you understand that topic. The lectures have been specifically created for an FMG student so that we understand that we have to be in a certain way for you to learn that information. So we obviously have mastered that kind of a skill as well. So all your 6 teachers, and this is the teacher, these are faculties who will be teaching you, right? So this is obviously 24 months plan. We have 18 months plan. So you can go ahead and try it out. It's something that is surely going to benefit your preparation, so that later on you have to at least don't really struggle in your preparation of understanding and concept, because nowadays a lot of clinical questions are coming, a lot of concept based questions are coming. So that is something that really helps you. Now this is something that we have as well. It's an advanced plus plan. So your third and fourth prof students, okay, can get this, which is the entire basket, okay, of plans. Everything is there. It's got video lectures, and wonderful, it's got a clinical world where all the clinical examination videos are always there on this particular app. We have an extensive question bank, test and discussion, golden mantras, and revision videos. Everything, all 19 subject package into one big advanced plus plan. So that is also a plan we have for you. So this is something that we have kind of curated for you. So we have a basic plus plan, we have a first and second prof plan, and we have an advanced with which everything, all the 19 subjects coupled in together. So this is something that you can, this is the best price that is on offer. So you can just check that out. It's been an excellent, a big validity for these things as well. What I want you to understand once and for all is there are professors, there are faculty who are ready to handhold you. It's just that, do you believe in yourself? Do you really believe in yourself and the power of your own creations? Most of us, unfortunately, just feel that अरे यार ये लेके क्या फायदा, हम तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, या हमारे में वो काबिलियत नहीं है. We are not really here. We are not capable enough to absorb this much information. This is just belief. This is not reality, and that's because we have all the time told ourselves, the world has told ourselves that you can't do it. But I'm here to tell you for the first time that when I tell you that you can do it, it will still not make a difference because your mind doesn't agree. So I feel one of the best skills, only see, if you really believe in yourself, then you will really get attracted to the things which push you towards your success. I feel this is something that will really help you in your preparation. I will want now to have an open forum. Okay, I will have what we call as an open forum now. What is an open forum? Open forum now is I'm opening the forum out to your questions. I want you to chat with me now. I want you to tell me what your questions are, and then I will address your questions now. Okay, I want you to really now come up with your questions. Okay, I will ask you your questions now, And now I will stop speaking and I will want your questions to come. Ask me one on one. It's a one-on-one session where you ask me questions and I tell you how to handle that. If you're struggling with belief, I'll tell you how to do it. If you're struggling with concentration, I'll tell you how to do it. Ask me questions. I'll wait for your question. It's very important, bache, that I get to your heart. I get to your mind. I get to your kind of preparation, and I will want to understand where you are struggling. Okay. What I really feel most of you are struggling with is memory and concentration, as you have rightly asked me. How do you boost memory and concentration, bache? The only way to boost memory and concentration is to get up in the morning and do something that I call as stress reduction techniques, which is what? Which is basically meditation. Trust me when I say this. If you meditate at least just for 15 minutes every day, just for 15 minutes every day, I'm not saying more time, just for 15 minutes every day, you'll find a massive jump in your preparation. Your sleep will be better, your foods will be better, and then your concentration improves. Okay? I'll take a question now. Yes, I'm in final year. I have to complete all is rapid revision videos plus PYQ of NEET PG and PYQ of FMGE enough to score 200 plus. But what we understand is revision videos are going to be a game changer. Revision video is going to be really important to be able to cram everything in a short period of time. It's going to be taken by all your top faculties. It's going to really give you a most bang for your buck, because the only thing you're struggling with right now is time. We don't have time, right? So there's no luxury of time. That's the only thing you don't have. So many of you are cutting down on your sleep. Don't do that. The moment your sleep goes down, your concentration also automatically goes down, so efficiency goes down. We don't want to do that. First thing, revision videos, very very important. We're going to have a one shot video series as well. That's also really going to help you. So all our faculties are geared up to make those videos so that they can concise everything. It's very important to do previous year questions, and now we have a new term. It's not called previous year questions, it's called previous year topics. Meaning, don't only look at the question. Let's say there's a leprosy question. So you know that leprosy topic itself is important. So you will do leprosy a lot. Okay. So if you think this question is of this particular topic, so try and finish the topic. Okay. That's so important. And nowadays, what we understand is the last 3-4 years PYQs and PY topics are so vital. Just doing that very well, looking at question banks, looking at test series, I think that should be more than enough. Okay, provided again with the background of belief and concentration and deleting social media and having a happy environment around you. If you can do these all things together, I think that should be more than sufficient for, because I've interviewed so many students. Okay, FMG students, I did so many interviews recently after the present exams came, and most of them said only one thing. They said only simple things are asked. Don't plan for complicated things, just plan for simple things, right? So simple things are asked more frequently. If you plan for exotic things, some syndrome, some big stuff, it's not really going to come. They're really going to ask basic stuff, but they will really nowadays ask more clinical stuff. So it's very important that you see those question banks which have a clinical orientation as well. You have, for example, in dermatology, you have to look at images. So then those question banks will have images also. So that also something that you can easily prepare very well. Okay, Sanjay's asked. Okay, I'll take one more question. S has asked, during first revision of notes, should I read my primary notes cover to cover passively and then concise my notes, or should I do first revision by doing retrospective, by doing questions actively? But okay, good question. Now it all depends on how much time you have. Now, if you have already done one revision properly cover to cover from front to back, then the next time obviously you'll do only a retrospective question based discussion where you do a question, you then go back and do your notes. Now let's assume you have never done any theory in the up till now and you're directly preparing for your December exam, and I don't think you have time. So then you have to do retrospectively only, take the questions, take the explanation, and go back and do the theory of those only those particular topics. Okay, I got 115. What should be my strategy? Sanjay, we've already discussed strategy today For half an hour, we have been discussing strategy. The strategy starts from the mind, goes to your heart, starts increases to the environment control that we spoke about, deleting the social media, then getting some good question bank in your place. Test series very important, and reading as much as you can on that particular day with belief is the strategy that I think is very, very good for you to do, right? Okay. Kali Prasad has said, thank you for clearing my doubts. Okay. Right. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Grand test. Yes, you have to give grand test as much as possible, but there is no bypassing grand test. Grand test is the only way you will be prepared mentally. You know what happens many times? See, you are kind of comfortable now on your chair, you're doing aram, say sitting and reading. This is not simulating the real exam environment. Once you do an actual GT exam, when you're sitting like that with the exact simulation of the exact exam, then your back will hurt, your head will hurt, your concentration wavers, and then when you keep on doing it, you will find that your concentration becomes better. So if you can really enact the real life situation, that exam में कैसा होगा वैसे ही पहले करना है ना? In fact, to an extent that we, during the exam we used to tell that if the exam duration is between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and then your GT should also be attempted between 9 and 12 or 12:30, because then in the morning you will be then accustomed to giving your exam in the morning. So you have to be that proper in actually simulating the environment that you are going to give the exam. It's almost like war. When you have the real war, you cannot just directly go to war. No, when the army is being trained, they will first enact कि वॉर में जैसा होता है वैसे ही तुमको ट्रेनिंग करेंगे. So the same training has to happen now. Those drills which happen, army drills. So same thing for you. GT is absolutely vital. Absolutely vital, बच्चे. Absolutely vital. ठीक है? Right. Naji Abdul has asked me how to pay. बच्चे, just get to DBMCI. Just get to DBMCI, and there'll be a contact resource person there. Then you can go there and actually call our head offices, and the numbers are all displayed. You can even do Google and see the head office numbers. You can give them a call, and they'll be more than happy to help you and assist you in preparation, and we'll be more than glad to be of service to you. Okay, do we have any other questions, Bachche, to answer to ask? We've had an excellent session. It's been 45 minutes already, so I'm so happy that all of you are here today. Yes, Najia Abdul, that's what I said. It depends on, should we read text and go to the questions, or do the questions and go back to text. Now, most times when you're short of time, okay, then it's wiser to get to the questions and then go retrospectively and then do the theory from there. Okay, and that's why it's very important to have a good question bank with you. Okay, it's very important to have a very good question bank from you. Okay, this question bank is so vital, because if your question bank is not good, then you will actually read the wrong questions, na baba. If a question bank is nice, which has been curated by people who are in this field for years and years. See, we as faculty, we sleep and drink and do everything that's only our subject only for years and years and years. So we know what is important, what is not important. The problem in many content is this over information which you can't remember. Okay, so only go to the real questions, go back retrospectively to the topics which are there in the MCQs, and then that is more than enough for your preparation. And try to do at least 8 hours of sleep. Most students compromise on sleep. Now, if you don't sleep, you know why sleep is so important? Full day you are studying. Okay, do you not want to solidify that memory, whatever you read? Now, solidification of memory and retention of memory does not happen during the waking time. It happens only during the sleeping time. So think of those 6-10 hours of sleeping time, 6 to 8 hours of sleeping time, as retention of that memory that you created. Most students will compromise on sleep and just keep on studying more and more and more as the exam comes near. You know what happens? They have less and less memory and retention. In fact, as you get nearer to the exam, you should always ensure that your sleep is proper. Because the moment the sleep is not there, even if you read, you will not remember. Clear? Understand, please? Okay, right? See, NEET PG, we are not discussing NEET PG here. This is a program is the talk mainly of FMG, but whatever things I told you also applies universally to other exams. NEET PG is in March, so you have more time for that. So point is that all of us here are here to discuss how best we can use ourselves to succeed, and I hope I've been able to give you that. Okay, clear? About 3 to 5 years is an excellent timeline for how many years PYQs you have to do. Okay bache, right? Now, I would love to have some feedback. We are almost nearing the end of the session. It's almost been 45 minutes. We planned for 30 minutes, but it's been 45, which means that this session, all of you are enjoying. I'm happy to hear that. Now, any final questions, or you want to give an update or feedback on how you felt about how we did this today's planning session? We did, I gave you options. I gave you some mindset training. I answered your questions. I spoke about how much you should study and what question banks to be attempted. All those things we did. So I hope I've been able to give you a good overall perspective on, and we'll be supporting you. We'll be supporting you till your exams. Okay, so if you buy the plans that we spoke about, I'm there as a mentorship guru in DBMCI, so you can connect with me anytime. I can handhold what you're doing, and then we can take you home. And then I just wish and hope that one day you become that successful person. Usually we conduct interviews of people who have passed their FMG exams. I hope I meet you one day in that one-to-one session that we do, where I ask you how did you succeed, and I hope you can tell me that yes, I applied the principles that were spoken to me so many months back, and I am here to say that all those have worked for me. So thank you so much. I just wish I just wish all my heartfelt wishes to you, because Bache, I understand this is a very tough part of your life. I'm not here to tell you this is simple. This preparation time where it's so difficult, you almost feel that भगवान किसी तरह करके मुझे रैंक दे दे यार, मेरे को ना मतलब पास करा दे. So I understand it's a tough phase of life, and I'm here to tell you that I'm here to support you mentally, emotionally, in this very tough preparation. Because you know what happens many times most students are, what they're lacking is support. What they're lacking is a hand on their shoulder कि बच्चे कोई नहीं हो जाएगा, कोई नहीं हो जाएगा. We just need that hand who just comes on our head and says it's okay, you're doing very well, you will be doing it. We just need that show of support. That's it. कर तो हम अपने आप लेंगे यार, लेकिन belief, okay, belief is something that I really wish for all of you. Okay, so my best wishes, namaste to all of you. I enjoyed this session. I always enjoy talking to students, even though I can't see you really, but I can see you online. And from the words of appreciation that I have got from you today, it seems to have been an excellent helping session. And most of us do feel like giving up so many days, right? You feel ki let's just give up, let's not worry about the consequences, let's सब जैसे हिंदी में मतलब सब भाड़ में जाओ. And that's a real emotion many of us feel. Okay, but you know what, when you feel like giving up, think of that winner's interview that maybe Dr. Saurabh will have with me after I clear my exam. Think of how proud your parents will be once you are 151 in your marks. And what if on that day when you gave up, maybe because of that giving up and because of the loss of 2-3 days, maybe that 151 became 149. You can't afford to do that. Okay, chalo. Thank you so much. God bless, and